What is up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. Hope you all had a great Sunday last week. The lineup that I provided as the last look lineup last Saturday to play Sunday scored about 171, give or take. And unfortunately, you know how they say you shouldn't be out, like at a bar or club, like you shouldn't be out past 2 a.m.? Well, this also pertains to DFS. You shouldn't tweak your DFS lineup past 2 a.m. on a Saturday night, Sunday morning. I did, and I regretted it. But let me just say just one rant. If you're the Giants, if you're Pat Shurmur, the head coach of the Giants, and you see the Eagles' top 4 or 5 cornerbacks are not going to play, how do you not give the ball to Odell and Sterling Shepard like 20 times each a game? How did Odell not get 12 catches for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns? Kind of glad the Giants lost that game because that was a ridiculous play calling. I understand they got Saquon Barkley and he got his share. But as you can see, they played it too conservatively. Odell is on their 5th best cornerback, a guy the Eagles picked up off the practice squad 2 weeks ago that got burned by the Saints, Tre'Quan Smith of the Saints, and Michael Thomas. And how do you not just feed him the ball through the air and score 40, 50 points? I know you have Eli Manning, but man, okay, I digress. Alright, so I'm going to try to get this video in before my phone dies and before my dogs start barking. They bark at every single car that passes by. So if you hear them barking, I apologize in advance. So this week is the redemption week. We're not worried about quarterback, but like quarterback, you could honestly plug in the cheapest quarterback, like defense. Derek Carr, great matchup. Even Tannehill for 15 points. We're going to go, for right now, we're going to go Jeff Driscoll. The only thing that worries me about this game is that he's not playing his own defense. He's not playing the Bengals defense. He's playing the Broncos defense. They give up a lot of passing yards, but they do have Von Miller and Chubb. His first name is eluding me. Oh, Bradley Chubb. So that's the concern, but for now, we're going to plug him in. Gurley, I like Gurley, but he had an ankle injury last time he was out. They say it's fine. But as you notice, the Lions, since they got Snacks Harrison, have gone from the 32nd NFL ranking, giving up 150 plus rushing yards, to 19th and 117 in like 3 weeks. Maybe 4 weeks. So we're not going to go here, even though I think this is a great tournament play. We're not going to go here yet. You got to plug in McCaffrey. I can't believe I didn't play McCaffrey last week. I've seen Gurley tear up the Seahawks defense. McCaffrey, and I called Hunt Gurley 2.0 last week. McCaffrey is actually Ty Gurley and playing better than Ty Gurley is. And the Panthers are feeding him the ball like McShay feeds Ty Gurley. Next, I kind of baffled on this pick earlier, but just like Ty Gurley, he might be Ty Gurley 3.0. You gotta play him. Doesn't matter who he's playing up against. He's gonna get 10 catches, maybe 8 if he's got a down game. You just gotta plug him in and not worry about it. The other running back, you can go Kareem Hunt, which I love. On the road, the Chiefs tend to run the ball more. But everyone, I think, is gonna play Aaron Jones, which they should, at home against the Cardinals. I don't like Dalvin Cook this week. No Sutton Shaw. I like Matt Breida. You saw the Secrets defense get torched by McCaffrey. Breida does a little bit of the same thing, albeit not as well as McCaffrey. But he's really good. He might be good for 20. He might have a floor of 20. And I like Philip Lindsay. No one's going to talk about him this week at all. He's going to be lost in the shuffle. How is he only 5,400 still? It amazes me. He doesn't catch any out of the backfield, so that kind of prohibits what he did against the Chargers. But man, if they learn how to use him, he might be the next Saquon Barkley or McCaffrey. And you see the Bengals are like the old Detroit Lions in rushing. They're terrible. Nick Chubb. I think he didn't have good yards per average last week against the Bengals, but he had like 27 fantasy points. So we're gonna not go here though. We're just gonna play it safe with Aaron Jones. Now receiver, here's what we got. You almost have to plug in Adam Thielen like he's Todd Gurley, right? But he's on the road against the Patriots. I hadn't done any research this week yet. I haven't done any research, but maybe go back to see what Ty Hill did against the Patriots. Not saying that he's Ty Hill, or he's fast enough. But then again, Belichick will try to slow down the top option, which is Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, and not Dalvin Cook. So it kind of worries me. Julio Jones is solid, but Baltimore, but he's at home. That could be a good tournament pick. Kenny Galladay, I've never seen him. I think I've seen him play once. Last year. I saw him for a couple minutes against the Bears. He's a totally different player than last year. He's a beast, and he's the number one receiver. And I thought he was just a speedster, just goes deep down. But just a couple minutes, he looked like T.O. in Randy Moss's body. Well, he looked like T.O. with the speed of like Randy Moss. I'm not saying he's as fast as Randy Moss, that's good. But he was going over the middle. He just looked like a beast. He looked like a Calvin Johnson 1.5. And against the Rams, I think Aqib Talib comes back. But Marcus Peters will be on him. Even if Aqib Talib does come back, I mean, why can't they have to give him the ball. So I love him. But for this video and this first impression, here's what we're going to do. We can load up a running back. There are so many deep value receivers we can go to. We're going to punch in Adam Humphries first. He had 28 points against the Panthers last. I'm not saying he's going to do it again, but clearly the Panthers cannot stop him. And look who's next to him. Demaryius Thomas. This might be point chasing. I don't know what happened in the Washington game, if he even played. But against the Browns, they give him a lot of yards. And they have a pass rush. He's the number 2 receiver still on this team. They have to give him the ball, right? And down here, let me show you a gem that is an awesome tournament find. This is the gem. He's like the Kenny Stills of the Bills. And he's playing Kenny Stills' team. The Dolphins cannot defend the deep pass. Now, if Josh Allen can get 1 or 2 of them out there to him, he's going to hit 2 or 3 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown again. And we'll win you the $1 million in the tournament. For cash, can we run him out there? Maybe if we go to Adam Thielen, we might be able to. If you want to give more expensive receiver, also, Robbie Anderson, a good tournament play, not cash though. Do not play him in cash unless, of course, he goes off. But Bruce Ellington. I don't know too much about him. I think this is the guy that played on the Texans. That was okay. This is the number 2 receiver on the Lions. Not Tyus Jones. It's number 2 receiver. Last 2 weeks, he has 7 and 9 targets. No one's talked to him about him at all. He's going up against the Rams. Again, even if Aqib Talib plays, he's not gonna. He'll be at 100%, but he's not in game shape. He's not gonna play the all game. They're gonna just stick their second and third defensive backs on him. That might be a good play. So we punch him right in here. So defense. I'm curious about the Vikings defense in New England. And Tom Brady looks like he's not Tom Brady yet this year. But let's just plug in. I like the Chiefs a lot. I like the Chiefs defense. Okay. So, look at this. We have 7,600 for a tight end. We don't pay up for tight ends. You could go for Travis Kelce. Or, I think you can change your quarterback out. You don't need to have Driscoll anymore as your quarterback. So, Patrick Mahomes, you could just plug him into Patrick Mahomes and forget about it. But look who's playing. He's playing Oakland. Oakland will not be able to keep up their pace with the Chiefs. So Mahomes could only get 20 points, and that's high for 20. Cam Newton is not the focal point of the offense anymore against Tampa Bay. He could get 30. Goff, I like Jared Goff. I think he's probably the safest sleeper, and he's up against Matt Stafford. Not saying Stafford's been awesome this year, but this might be a closer game than people think it is. He's probably a safe pick, but we're not in the business of safe picks anymore. Deshaun Watson, people are going to look at this. People are going to be scared by this 8th opponent rank. Deshaun Watson he's at home. He plays better at home, except for the Bills, which who knows what happened in that game. But you might just want to plug him in, and he gets rushing yards, passing yards, and touchdowns of every which way. Let's plug him in. Tight end. Do we want George Kittle? Gronk? Jared Cook might be a good play. A safe play. KC sucks against the tight end, and they have no receivers on this team. But Greg Olsen, good plays. Eric Ebron might be the play of the week. Everyone thinks Jacksonville's defense is awesome. Even DraftKings does. But Jacksonville, they've lost 7 in a row. Not saying it's all their defense, but their defense is not as good as last year. And they gave up, like 21, 28 points to the Bills. Eric Ebron might be a good play. I like him for tournaments. Keep going down here, though. Oh, actually, my sleeper pick of the tight ends, Everett and Higbee. Now, the way the Rams are using them, Everett is their 15, 20 yard down the field threat who can beat any safety or linebacker that's on them. But Higbee's interesting. He's like, they throw tight end screens to him to get 8 to 12 yards every single time. No one sees it. He's like their short intermediate passer. Route runner. So they use them in tandem all the time. And they're both having like 10-point games or something. So that's interesting. So we're going to go with the cash games, go with Cameron Brate. Like, O.J. Howard had a huge game against the Panthers. I know that Fitzpatrick was throwing him the ball. Actually, no, it was Winston was throwing him the ball during that game. So we're going to go with Brate here. Going to have a big game. So look at this. We have $2,300 to spend. Still, we have $2,300 to spend. Now, let's see. You can get rid of Demaryius Thomas, maybe. I like Emmanuel Sanders a lot. That's how we're actually one away from Galladay. Oh, so we can just go like this. I might just do this, actually, and just lock this lineup in. I might just spend down to the Vikings and go for Galladay and call it a day. That might be the best pick, actually. But what happens if the Rams shut out the Lions? So maybe we don't want both receivers unless we're in a tournament game with Stafford, which could be the winning thing. What did Josh Wellman do last week? Still, so I'm not in love with this. Pettis said I think he had a good game. Yeah, we won't do that again though. About 8 men. Yeah. Let's see, Jones. Sorry, I was going through this. I don't really like this part. We could do that. And this might be the first week that I might do 2 or 3 different combinations for cash. But look at this. Let's go. Let's put Demaryius Thomas back. 6,200. Boyd might be a good pick. But Chris Harris is up against him. Lockett is like my favorite pick of the year. Not this week, per se, but just in general. No one picks him, and he's good he gets like a touchdown every game, almost every other game. The Seahawks, people are scared the Seahawks don't throw a lot, and they might not throw a lot this game because they're playing the 49ers. If he was up against a better opponent like the Panthers, we should have played him. DJ Moore, you can't go wrong with DJ Moore. He might be the safest pick out there. If Devin Funchess comes back, I think you got to play him. I mean, if Devin Funchess does not come back, he's out with an injury, you have to play DJ Moore, hands down. No questions asked. But let's go. If Devin Funchess is playing, look at this. Fitzgerald against, the Packers don't give up a lot of yards, but he's in the slot. He's got to come up with at least a 10-point game, right? Like I've been burned against receivers. I've been playing the wrong receivers every single week, so we gotta go someone different. Fitzgerald. And look, we're still like we can go up and not play Aaron Jones and play Kareem Hunt. So we got 3 stud running backs, stud quarterback. Humphreys, he's probably their best receiver right now. Demaryius Thomas might be the question mark, but Deshaun Watson is better passer than we give him credit for. Browns, they may try to stop Hopkins, so Demaryius Thomas might be wide open all game. Brate, we have a good game. Hunt, good game. The only thing that stops Hunt is the score being blown out, or the Chiefs blowing out the Raiders. And the Vikings, before you knock it, 36 sacks, I think it's the most. 10 picks, they can score touchdowns. Brady can throw an easy one up for a touchdown. So, I think this team might score 180 points. However, if you're anything like me, you might want to get Kenny Galladay into your lineups, folks. You might, instead of Demaryius Thomas, try to get... Okay, so this is my first look. Watson, McCaffrey, Barkley, Humphreys, Demaryius Thomas, Fitzgerald, Brate, Hunt, and Vikings. But you might want to get Kenny Galladay into your lineup if you can. Let's see if we can do that. I watched every Rams game. You might want to get him in. He's at home, in a dome, against a bad Rams defense. Who do we take out? Saquon. I don't want to take out Saquon Barkley. I really don't if I had to. Look at this. We can get him in. We can get Philip Lindsay in against the Bengals. And he might have the same amount of points as Hunt does because there's 10